Most of what you see in San Francisco are actually cable cars, and the difference there is that rather than running off electricity overhead and having the motors supply traction to the wheels, there's a moving cable under the street, and the cars grip that cable through a slot between the rails and are pulled up and down hills. Yeah. And that's become more a tourist attraction than anything else at this point.
Yeah, I suppose. Everything in its day, Rich.
That's true, just like the stagecoach, as we said.
We have to take that into consideration. And this, all of what you were referring to, comes out of the very fine booklet entitled Essex Electrics by Sherman Mears. And this is a copy that can be found, maybe, or looked at the Society?
That's correct, at Beverly Historical Society. And again, that describes in great detail the line from Beverly through Essex to Gloucester and its demise.
Well, I guess that just about does it in terms of trolley cars and their effect upon our community here. But there were, still are, other methods of transportation, and all of which is encompassed down at the Walker Collection.
That's right.
On the, at the Cabot House. What would you like to do, Rich, come next program?
Well, it might be fun and a natural progression to go from the end of the streetcars and actually look at some of the types of buses that took over from the streetcars and see what the service was like with those. You know, a lot of people would say, well, who cares about buses? But buses have been overlooked for years, and the ones that still run today, you know, are taken for granted. Most people don't even ride on them. But this was the natural progression from the trolley car, and the buses you see today, the yellow buses with a big T, are the last remnants of these street railways, and I think it's important to follow that right to its conclusion.
Yes, and our friend Mr. Harold Boothroyd has been very kind and generous in developing a number of fine old photographs for us to view.
That's right.
Many of which, with his permission, we'll show perhaps on a coming program. Yeah,
we were very fortunate to have a large number of Eastern Mass Street Railway bus pictures, negatives actually, donated by Mr. Frank Bates, and he was an ex-Eastern Mass operator.
Yeah.
And so they've come in very, very handy.
This is an era that I'll be able to relate to, Rich, because I well remember waiting for that bus down at Ellis Square when it would come up Essex Street and stop, going the opposite direction as we can go today. And
that's right.
On the bus we'd get in over to Salem, around the Common and down Essex Street, and it was quite a nice time.
It was.
To be able to ride those old buses.
We have some good pictures, and we can go back and look at them in some detail.
Great. Well, again, Richard Sims, we thank you so much for being our guest today on Beverly's Times Past, and we'll look very much forward to seeing you again very soon when we come back and talk about our bus system and what follows.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. And we thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for sitting with us this evening. We hope you've enjoyed our program. And this is Ed Josephs saying good night for now.